Do you want to get Pluribus out of the way?
Okay. Why not?
All right. Should I put my hands down?
This is the Pluribus.
This is the Pluribus gesture. Please, Carol, don't.
By the way, I occasionally go onto Reddit. There's a Pluribus Reddit.
Oh, what are you, crazy?
Of course.
Never go into Reddit.
And it's interesting there that, you know, we've been referring to the Hive as the others, and almost like the show calls them the others, I think. But on Reddit, they call them the Plurbs. I actually think that's pretty clever.
That's good.
Yeah.
I say hive mind, and I say the world. I mean, essentially, that's what it is. But yeah, the Plurbs. That's great. It was a very good episode, as well as they've all been. I'm sorry if you guys don't think so. It's all right. We'll be the two people who are enjoying it, and I know that there's tons
apparently Apple has let it drop that this is the most watched show on Apple TV Plus in history at this point.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what the numbers are or what they're comparing it to specifically, but they're tooting their horn on this.
Well, I will say this: Apple TV there's a joke that goes that of all the streaming services, they churn out great product that no one watches, or at least these aren't tossed off shows. It's just that in the static of how much stuff there is out there, their stuff doesn't get really too much attention, though, of course. So this is more watched than Severance was?
Apparently so, which is amazing to me to hear.
That is, though, again, the pedigree, it's a Vince Gilligan show. Severance did come out of kind of nowhere, other than Ben Stiller being the guy behind it. Or at least not the creator, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So I guess advance hype, but I'm sure word of mouth. Maybe we've done our small itty bitty duty. I said it. To get the word out about how amazing a show it is. So this is episode 7 that we're talking about, and it's called The Gap. And I don't know if you guys even remember, because it's been so long ago. Okay, maybe like a week. But Chad totally nailed what The Gap was. He did his research. I had never heard of the Darien Gap. And actually, you hadn't either, right? Till you did.
No,
you were looking stuff up.
I can't take full credit for that because I do watch other people talking about the show.
Full credit.
I can't remember where I first heard about it.
Oh, okay.
Because I told you about how I did the research with Apple Maps, trying to see if you could. So how long does it take them to drive to Albuquerque from Paraguay? And Maps said I can't draw that path, and I was like, I just thought it was Apple bugging out because it was such a long distance. But I didn't dig in deeper into it at that point.
I can't do that, Dave.
I can't do that, Chad. What are you doing, Chad?
Open the pod bay doors.
I can't remember where I first found out about this, but it was on one of those videos. I think that somebody mentioned the Darien Gap, and I was like, oh, so that's why. Okay. I had like a lot of people now, I had no idea about the Darien before the show. So it's pretty cool.
Once you brought up that theory about where it might go, which, and they had finally given Manousos more screen time, and we're like, oh, this will be a Manousos centric episode, which it is. I was actually more surprised that we don't immediately jump there. I was actually surprised that we spent, it's about half and half, like about half the episode is Carol.
Mm-hmm.
But he still gets like the second half. But given its title and given what you suspected it would be, I was like, oh boy. So I was expecting we'd jump right into some Manousos, if you know what I mean. And instead we get Carol, and it's good stuff, but it's, her stuff is sad.
Yeah.
And essentially after what she came to kind of understand as the world is, explaining everything to her. She doesn't have her goal anymore. I mean, she's got her goal, but it became clear that the world's like, hey, Carol, look, this is going to keep going on without you. And we really hope you give up this whole thing about trying to separate us and do all that stuff. So this episode's kind of starting with Carol not giving up, but sort of giving in a little bit to some of the stuff that her buddy in Vegas, whose name every week I go, what's his name again?
Kumba Diabate.
It's and he's a great character, and I've got to learn Kumba anyway. But yeah, so she's kind of trying it his way. She's come back from Vegas and sort of like leaning into, okay, all right, you guys are just here to make me happy. Well, this is what I want. I want an ice cold Gatorade
out in the middle of the desert.
Fruit punch Gatorade out in the middle of the desert. And it answered my question, which I had about like gas stations. I was like, they're not at work anymore, as in the world isn't necessarily going to their former jobs because there's no need to. So
right.
If Carol's driving around, she's going to run out of gas eventually. What's she going to do? So what she does is she pulls up to empty gas stations, picks up the phone on the inside, the dark gas station, and goes, yeah, I need pump 1 activated. Like, and then she can refill the car. And while she's at it, she's unlike Manousos later, who's still leaving money. I love the fact she's just like, okay, this, yeah, all right. And you know what? It's hot. I want an ice cold Gatorade. And then the drone shows up and brings it. And then she's just getting cocky too. She's so spiteful. I love it. Where she's like going, did I say mildly cool? No, I said ice cold. Do better next time.
Yeah. She's like what they call Karen. She's like a Karen in a restaurant complaining about.
Yes, she is definitely doing that. It's basically her kind of like going, all right, let's play it by your rules. And if my happiness is paramount, then I'm going to get on your ass about every little thing. So she also decides she wants to have an amazing dinner at like her favorite restaurant in town. And all this is like, the town shut down, and then obviously everyone shows up. And since everyone has everyone's skills and knowledge, she's like, I want this thing that I had years ago, this thing that I had on my anniversary dinner with Helen. She's like, and and they know exactly how to prepare these. They know exactly the best recipes. So when she gets all dressed up, goes, and it's just her, and they're, she's picking music to play. And then she's just sitting there and eating.
I didn't catch this. Somebody else pointed this out, that the song that she puts on the player piano, because I wasn't paying attention to what the one she selected. It was I Will Survive.
Yeah, it was I Will Survive.
Yeah. It's great.
I picked up on that.
Yeah.
Mainly because of that opening run where it's like, first I was afraid. I was petrified. I was like, oh, it's I Will Survive. Plus, this song, this episode, very heavy on her just driving around singing,
just basically enjoying herself as much as she can with all these weird pastimes, like knocking golf balls into windows and blowing up, setting fireworks off in her cul-de-sac.
She took all the fireworks that were at that gas station. I guess if you're somewhere out in New Mexico, there's probably fireworks in gas stations.
Yeah.
But she basically just scoops those all up. The thing is, she's trying to enjoy herself. And for a little bit, it seems to be kind of working. And, she is. She's eating that food, and it's amazing. She's like, but again, she's all alone.
Yeah.
And, by the time she's setting off the fireworks, she's empty.
She's and it's kind of creeps up on the viewer, because you just see her kind of having fun and like kind of this wild abandon. And she goes to the George O'Keeffe Museum and steals the painting, replaces her favorite
painting,
which is great. I was like, I was like, yeah, why not? Just take the original. And but
I do wonder if the world still has they must have an appreciation for art, but they won't be creative anymore. Technically, creativity does require a singular mind and inspiration and whatever. And so the world itself can't do it.
She has that moment in the pool where she's, singing, and she's naked in the pool and singing about being naked from Nelly's "It's Hot in Here," whatever that song was. I had to look that up. I wasn't familiar with that one. And
Chad.
she reaches this moment where she's
I knew
smiling,
that one.
where she's smiling up, and you think she's reached this moment of this kind of internal peace or something. But no, it's like, I think, I don't know if it's the next scene. It's shortly after that when she has the fireworks up in this circle around her, and one of them just happens to kind of tilt down straight at
she
her.
has them
and you
all
think,
on different...
oh, she's going to notice it at the last minute and dive out of the way. No, she just looks at it and goes, okay, do it. I've had enough of this. She's ready to die.
Yeah.
But it misses her by a hair, and then she kind of snaps out of it and gets back to work. But it
does. I mean, is that her house again?
No, it was her neighbor's house.
Oh, it was a neighbor's. Right.
Yeah.
They do look alike. And I was like,
she feels
Jesus
responsibility
Christ,
to
that
put
place
the
was
fire
blown
out.
up.
Yeah.
Now it's on fire.
Yeah. I thought, because I remember seeing that shot in one of the trailers, I thought that she had blown her own house up, but no, that was just an accident of a neighbor's house.
And it is that's a telling thing. That's sort of where we leave her for the moment. Wait, does she paint the thing first and then we go to Manousos, or does she paint it after we've been with Manousos?
I think. Oh, maybe it's
we don't know
after
what
Manousos
she painted.
thing. Yeah,
I don't know if
I'm trying to remember what the sequence of it. Yeah, we don't see it until
I think that
after
the house
Soja
is on
shows up.
fire and she's trying to put it out like hose and whatever.
Yeah, and then she paints.
And then she goes to the hardware store, which is making me think like, oh, she's going to repair whatever she did, which doesn't make sense, especially if it's not her house. Who gives a shit? She goes to the empty hardware store and she gets paint and roller, and we see that she's painting something. We don't know what on the cul-de-sac, on the tarmac. Then I guess we cut to Manousos on the road. His car's doing better than I thought it would. I guess it is just about its starter. Apparently, if he stops, that's the problem, because getting it up and running again is a problem. But once it's running, it's doing okay.
Yeah, because we see him in the episode. He gave it a start by pushing it down the hill and starting it, which is an old way of getting a low idling car to start.
And once he's not singing, but he's so purposeful. I mean, it's pretty amazing. He's very driven. No pun intended. He's popping in English language tapes, which we actually saw him gather up in the previous episode. So I love the fact he's like, I've got a long way to drive. I bet I can learn English. And so a lot of it is him. I mean, over the course of his journey, we see him practicing some English phrases, and that's all great. He is siphoning gas. Oh, also, obviously, the world is not ignoring him. The world, there are people that show up, like the guy in the truck.
Yeah, trying to give him water.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, this is similar to the Carol thing. We're really worried about you. You've got to stay hydrated. It's like, you want some snacks, and here's some water, and he's just like ignoring him. He's like, he doesn't want that shit. He does not trust anything that they're going to give him. Similar to Carol with the dumping out. And they're like, okay, well, if you ever need us, just look up at the sky and wave. So essentially they've got, and he keeps looking up there. There's no necessarily drone, but
yeah, he's wondering, like, what are they talking about? Yeah.
It's just, he stops occasionally, siphons gas. And I've never done that in real life. That just looks horrible.
That used to be a thing during the gas shortage in the late 70s. People would steal gas out of people's tanks. That exact method he's using. Yeah,
which is the way you do it, and it's the reverse whatever thing. But first you have to suck, like literally like a mouthful of gasoline, and that gets the flow going. Then you can just pop it in the tank. But yes, the whole thing of like, blah, blah, ugh. A mouth of gasoline. Oh, yeah.
And I was right about this too. The reason why he took that wad of money before he left, when he was gathering up all his stuff,
so he could pay,
specifically so he could pay for the gas he's stealing.
Yeah, and
that he's
anything
taking.
Else. Yeah. Because does he?
And this
buy snacks?
No, I think he must just have supplies on him. We don't really see him dealing with food on this
That's
episode.
True.
But he was probably doing. But I would just imagine him doing the same thing, like stopping places, taking food, leaving money. But they don't show that. But the thing about him not wanting to take the gas without paying for it leads into this big speech he gives the pluribus, when he reaches the gap, which we're not there yet, but that's, God, that was such a great. It was just so expertly, like everything in this show was just so expert.
Well, also
the groundwork
beautifully
for that scene
shot.
was laid.
I assume it's all shot on location simply because I think this show is not going to try and hedge those things and pretend like, oh, look, it's Burbank. But no, I think they actually shot in outside of Panama and so forth. So
I think I heard somebody say that they actually shot some of those highway shots of him driving were actually in Spain somewhere.
Okay.
Just,
I'm sure they're trying to match it. To me,
it was just cheaper for them to do it that way, I guess.
Yeah. It looks dead on, but not like I've been there. So and oh well, that's later when he gets to the gap. I was going to say the way the world is warning him about certain things, but that is later. So yeah, he's just driving, and we even get classic, cut to map, and it's showing his journey, where he's going, and it's all very pretty.
He sleeps in churches instead of people's homes and stuff. He goes in churches, so where
public space,
which is a thing. Your churches are supposed to be open to anybody
he also,
who needs shelter.
He's clearly a man of some faith, because he also has a little, like mini New Testament or whatever it is with like a saint on it or Jesus or something hanging from his rearview mirror. And clearly he knew exactly what was going to be ahead of him, because that does explain why he like packed the machete and gun and everything. So he's knowing it's going to be a dangerous jungle trip at some point. So what should we point out before he gets to the gap?
Well, I think we've covered most of it. He uses he collects rainwater when it rains in cans on his, just stops and parks and puts cans on his car.
He has all these like empty cans and like plastic bottles, and he just sets them on the roof of the or the hood of his car, and when it rains he's collecting rainwater to drink. And and
he's all along the way he's passing the Hive as they're going about their business, and they'll mechanically turn to him and wave as they're passing and go,
like, hello Manousos. Hi.
But they pretty much leave him on his own during his journey. But yeah, as you're saying, when he gets to the gap, he reaches the end of this. He reaches where he obviously we know that he knew that he was going to reach.
At this point, he's off road. Because
he does look kind of like,
across.
Crap. I guess this is where I have to do this. And then out of the brush, this team of a small group of the Hive appears.
First, he sees like I was confused. He sees like clothes and stuff, right? Just in the jungle. And we know that he's close to like a waterfall or some sort of body of water because we can hear it. And I'm like, what's that about? And then, yes, people just appear out of the bush. So it is the world. They knew exactly where he was going. So they're there. And they're like going, look, here's the thing. We know you want to cross this. We know you're headed to Carol, even though you haven't stated it. It's obvious. That's where you're going.
And he seems stunned when they say that. He was like, oh, yeah, I guess they would know that. Yeah, he's like,
of course.
Okay.
And then they're like, we can get you there by the end of the day. We can get you there by nightfall. It's like, we'll help you get there. We're not keeping you from anything. But if you want to go
and your car,
your car, and your car will be waiting for you when you get there. But if you want to go that way, it's extremely dangerous. You see all that stuff that you just walk through. That's, people have tried this before, and it's, it's rare that people make it on this journey. There's so many things you got to watch out for. There's this stuff and the snakes and the bugs and the scorpions or whatever. And plus the, whatever pine I've never seen that tree.
Yeah, I had to look it up later. They say it, I think, a chumba palm tree.
Yeah, they say it.
Palm tree. Right.
Yeah. And they're like, it, if you brush up against it, its spines have all this like poisonous or bacteria on it. And, and that'll get you all messed up. We want you to make it. We want you to be healthy. So, and then he's like listening, and then he just takes that gas can And he just doused it because they're like, we know how much your car means to you. And it's like,
because he just said goodbye to it. He patted
Yeah.
it, as they're walking up.
So he grabs the stuff he needs out, his knapsack with all the stuff, and then he does douse his own car with gasoline. Does he say the speech before or after he does that?
He says the speech as he's preparing the match and lighting the match to do it, and he does it in such a great way that because it's the first time we've heard him speak he did speak to his mother in the last episode.
Yeah,
but he had for the rest of the episode before this, he's just reciting and practicing English.
He's just doing
this time he's actually speaking Spanish to the Hive, and it's such a great, powerful, incredibly powerful moment. And but he says, nothing on this planet belongs to you.
Yeah,
you cannot offer me anything because everything you have is stolen.
Yeah,
you do not belong here. And I was like, oh my God, that was so good. And this is the first time that was the great thing about that speech is not just the speech itself, which alone should be on a t-shirt. It's just this great, great standalone little speech, but it's the way the Hive reacts to that, because they are literally rendered speechless for, I think, the first time in the show. They're like, they don't know what to say in response at that point.
His reaction is similar to Carol's, as an instant distrust of motivation and unwillingness to be beholden, but their emotional reactions are completely different. Carol did, kill 11 million people by getting really angry. I mean, she wouldn't have if she knew that 11 million people would die.
Sure.
She's trying to be better about that. But he is just more, it's about defiance. It's literally, and maybe he may be like Carol, too intensely anti, but at the same time, it's in this very mannered way of saying, I can't make this clear enough. You are not the people that you were, and I will not become one of you. And whatever you're up to, I will be opposed. So it's extremely powerful, and he's not angry or shouty. It is just that thing of him steely resolve. This is my statement of fact, and my statement of personal fact is, and that's why he's going to see Carol. It's like, we will stop you somehow. This is our planet. And also, I find it interesting that even though Carol has kind of, gotten used to talking to the world, and she wants to break the link that is connecting everybody, she doesn't seem too, or at least she hasn't really addressed, is this an alien thing? Is this an alien plot? Or is there a mind behind it? And his statement is more like, I know that there's a guiding thing behind this. So he's really addressing not the world, he's addressing whoever sent that signal out.
Yeah. It makes me wonder how much he knows and how he knows it, because he hasn't, he hasn't talked to the Hive before he leaves. So
I think it's interesting too. I mean, not that he could have really done this on the road, but all the stuff about the signal, which I'm sure we'll find out. He'll talk to Carol about it eventually. Right. But that, of course, it's on hold. He's had some driving to do. But that doesn't come up in this episode. It is interesting. I would be interested to know if it's simply paranoia and he's watched too many movies, or if he actually has some insight. I don't know. But it's really powerful.
I like I mentioned earlier, I like he's obviously an extremely principled person. Yes. But one of the reasons why he won't accept anything from the Hive, it's not just being defiant like Carol is being, like, screw you guys. He will not take something if it's not paid for. And everything he says, everything you have is stolen. I don't want it. You're just stealing from humanity. And that's against my morality too. So it's a layered thing for him, I think.
It is that thing of the way things were before. Clearly not perfect. The world is not perfect, and we see that every day. But the way things were before is the natural order, or at least where we've come to. This complete disruption, which seems, utopian and idyllic because there is no crime, no war, and everything is being equally distributed so everyone has the best. That sounds great, but it's at the cost of individuality. In his mind, it is principles. I think that it's like this. You can't, in the course of a day, do that and erase what we as a species are about. Again, he's just a little stuck in an idea of the way things should be. But most of us, since this is the way we live, can completely relate and go, yeah, man, he's sticking up for all of us, whereas everybody else is on this sort of like, well, we're going to have to eat bodies now. We're going to have to turn human into protein just to survive. But everyone's, sharing everything. And it's just crazy, including memories, including, feelings and emotions. So
to give credit to you, though, we're talking about the stuff that we predicted. We were talking about how is the audience going to learn about the Darien Gap? And you said, oh, it's probably the Hive will fill him in when he gets there. And they do. And I was like, Brendan totally called that one. And it makes sense.
You have to get that information across. Yeah.
It was an exposition dump, but it was perfectly timed. And
it was perfectly timed.
And reasoned.
And perfectly reasoned. They would assume that he knows something about it. But they would also want to be very clear. These are the dangers of you doing this. And so we as the audience like going, shit, I didn't know it was that bad. And so, I mean, it is. It's a perfect place to put it.
Yeah.
And again, they're like, we can get you there by nightfall. And his answer to that, after saying, everything you've got here is you stole, is he literally, while looking at him, because he's like going, see what I'm doing? See what I'm doing with the gas? Fuck your couch. Then he sets his own car on fire. And that's, of course, that was the thing that mattered to him the most. And then he walks through them. I mean, they're not going to stop him. That's still the world's thing.
Yeah.
Is,
and again, just they have nothing else. They can't think of anything else to
say.
They
just watch him
at that
go.
point. It's amazing.
And he fords like the little river and goes into the jungle.
I didn't notice this until after I watched the episode and I was rewatching parts of it. But the car that he has, this is just a theory. I think that one of the reasons why he was so fond of the car is that maybe it belonged to his father. It has this custom license plate on it that says El Fritz. Who knows what the story is behind that, but it might have been some joke that his dad had. Maybe we'll find out.
It's also from a period that would make it logical that it's like a parent's car because it's an MG midget, right? And that's from the 60s.
Right.
And a really cool looking little sporty thing. And he's just like, this is how determined I am. I say goodbye to this, my most cherished possession. For one thing, he can't take it across the river anyway.
He even leaves the religious necklace there.
He only takes what is necessary.
Yeah.
And what's then interesting is what they're showing us of his trip through the jungle is, it's survivalist stuff, and he's doing pretty well. What's really smart about it is that they're showing him struggling, but still like going, got it. Oh, no, I'm doing all right. And there's even a couple moments of him kind of like a little smile, like, I'm doing this, man. I'm totally doing this. And he gets to the area of those palm trees, which literally have spikes sticking out of them, which have like they're coated in that stuff. And he's at least like, I know what this is. I'm avoiding. Look at me avoid. I'm doing totally good.
Yeah.
And then
it was a very Indiana Jones moment where he turns around and the spikes are right there because that's that might have been a favorite reference to Indiana Jones.
I felt it too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, they're doing a little like,
yeah.
And also at one point he goes, no, he doesn't do it anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
I throw you the rope or the whip. Yeah.
Yeah. Throw me the idol. I'll throw you the whip. Don't ever do that, guys. You know that's not going to go well. So yes, he is doing pretty well, but then there is a moment where he slips. It is literally just an accident, and he's unable to stop himself, and he literally hits one of those trees full back. Just, and there's multiple spikes sticking out of this thing, so he is effed up. And then we see he's getting sicker. He's, got these horrible bleeding wounds on his back. And then he's doing a campfire thing where, I mean, it's just this, again, survival mode of him heating his own machete and then using that to cauterize. And I'm just like, oh, it all worked on the squeamish level for me. And the next day, oh yeah, what?
This whole time he's reciting like a mantra.
Oh yeah.
My name is Manousos Oviedo. I am not one of them. I wish to save the world, over and over again. And the more it repeats, I'm like tearing up as I'm like, God, this guy is so fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's his mantra.
You fall in love with his character during this scene.
Oh, certainly. The thing is that you want, and I told you this when I was texting you, Vince Gilligan is a good creator writer, but he's not above throwing you crazy red herrings and doing something, as we keep saying, like, you don't know where he's going to go. For half a second, I thought that he was turning Manousos into a cautionary tale of like, yeah, maybe if you're so, determined to abandon any help and advice or whatever, I thought he might actually kill him. I'm very glad he didn't. But yeah, the whole thing is the next day he is barely walking and looks terrible. And then he literally just collapses. And he's just on his back and he's looking up and he does kind of do a hand. It's not really like a wave necessarily. He kind of just does, and it could almost be he's shielding his eyes, but it is
right. It's a little unclear what he's thinking.
Ambiguous, yeah.
Because they did say wave at the sky if you need help, but the helicopter's already there. But
I mean, they must have just been following him because
they must have been tracking him the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's beautifully shot too, just because it's like hallucinatory, like there it is. And then you're seeing the rope come down. You're seeing like someone rappelling down to come help him.
And you see him as he's in this delirious reverie by the time when he collapses, and he's, instead of saying my name is Manousos Oviedo, I'm not one of them, the mantra he was doing before, he starts saying Carol's name as something to keep him going, because that's the hope he's moving towards, is this other person who he believes shares the same views as him.
Yeah.
And he's lying there and he says, Carol Starkey. He's kind of smiling in this delirious way, like, cause he's going, that was that one little kernel of hope he was holding on to is embodied in her name. And so he's smiling at that as he's fading. And then the helicopter shows up.
They'll get him there.
I kept wondering if he was going to run into another uninfected person hiding in the jungle, It's like, somebody's going to rescue him. But then the helicopter shows up. It's like, well, obviously
wasn't he the mysterious 13th guy though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're like, we were able to reach out to everybody, but he refuses to be reached out.
But it made me think the possibilities out there, there may be more people uninfected that they don't know about for the same reason they didn't know about him at first, that they're just hiding somewhere. So who knows? But that wasn't the story here.
And we leave there with him. I also was thinking like, oh, so he'll wake up and he'll just be outside of, Carol's place. Like they literally just dropped him off.
Right.
We're not there yet. And we are watching, by the way, the clock. When it gets to Manousos' section, it should be stated that he started his drive apparently like 30 days or something before, like a month.
Yeah, it's been going on for a month at least. Yeah.
And so then we jump back up to Carol. We bookends with Carol.
Right. And she too has been doing this coping thing for a month, everything she's been doing.
Yeah. And we do see she's just kind of hanging out in her house and she hears a car pull up, which in this kind of world, that really could only mean one thing, unless Kumba. Unless he decided to come visit her, it could only be the world. So anyway, she's like, what? She goes out. We do see that we don't see that yet. We see Zosha get out of the car. Oh, poor put upon Zosha. And Carol she doesn't say anything. And Carol is walking toward her like, wow. And then gives her a hug. And then she just collapses into Zosha. She has this runs into big her arms, emotional.
Yeah.
breakdown, and Zosha's being very maternal, and then the camera does pull back, and what Carol had painted was just come back. And that's heartbreaking.
I lost it that scene.
Yeah, she wants to dissolve that hive mind. At the same time, they're it, and she's all alone, and she's realizing, I have to have some human contact.
I've seen some people theorize, and there were a couple of videos I saw, and I didn't watch all the way through because I just thought this theory is not correct.
I mean, don't listen to what
But somebody said, some people were theorizing, she's not really, she's pretending to break, and then she's to pull a trick on the hive. And I'm like, did you not see the scene where she was ready to die? Just a few scenes before that.
It doesn't.
She is in a desperate state, and she did
what they're saying is wrong.
Desperate for human connection, whether it's a hive or not. She just can't stand it anymore. She can't. They broke her by staying away from her.
It's pretty exactly true. And what Zosha is offering is both genuine and completely empty as well. Simply because Zosha is not Zosha. She is the world. They chose her for lots of manipulative reasons, though they're not trying to manipulate. Like, here's a pleasing form. And it's like, okay, that isn't, who knows what Zosha was like in real life, and she may have hated Carol Sturka if she ever met her, but it doesn't matter. The world loves everybody because the world is everybody. And then they're like going exactly where it's like, your book is as good as Shakespeare. Well, some people, it meant a lot to them. It's like, so it's all evened out, and there are no peaks and valleys. So it's a very powerful ending, and we just got the 2 episodes left, and I know you're speculating because you can't help yourself, but I don't know. I don't
really know. Yeah, I'm just curious. I'm really curious to see how they're going to tie the rest of it together. What's going to happen after they heal. I'm assuming that Manousos is in a hospital somewhere near Panama, where they picked him up. What happens then? Will they go against his wishes and actually transport him to Albuquerque, or will they tell? I'm assuming that Zosha is going to tell Carol at this point. Well, we found Manousos. He wants. We know that he was on his way to see you. Would you like to talk to him? And maybe they'll fly her down to Panama just to talk to him in the hospital.
Hey, here's the thing: don't go anywhere because Manousos is on his way to see you. Don't drive to Vegas.
I'm kind of thinking that maybe I don't know. It could be either way. They could fly her to Panama to talk to him in the hospital, or they. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming he's not going to actually do the whole journey from Panama to Albuquerque at this point, although he may want to.
I don't know. I'm trying to see just how far along to wrap up the season. How far along into is it? Literally, just the last episode is them sitting down and going, "Okay, what's the plan?" I think
there's going to be
I don't know, some kind of big thing.
I think there's going to be a conflict at first because Carol may now think that she's in love with Zosha and not want to separate her. Yes. And so when Manousos gets there, they're not going to be seeing eye to eye at first. Also, and he's probably going to be disappointed in her that she's taking stuff without paying for it and all like that.
This is another thing. I think that he may also be romanticizing. It's Carol? The 2 of us against the world.
Yeah.
And she's a lesbian. I mean, we don't know if she may be bi. She may have dated men at some point.
And he may be gay. We don't know.
And he may be gay. But the whole Carol Sturka thing, I think he has built her into, like, we will be the 2 fighters against, all this craziness. And so I think it may be a thing of her going, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm looking forward to where it goes because the show is excellent. It's directed excellently. It's written excellently. It's acted excellently.
Yeah. And
I'm looking right at you people.
Everybody's been making this connection, and I made it when I was both my mom and I noticed this when we were watching it. The line he keeps repeating, "My name is Manousos." Yeah. It's just such a pull from Princess Bride.
It really is. It's very Inigo Montoya.
Shooting that. Yeah.
Hello, I am Manousos, whatever his last name is.
Yeah.
You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Prepare to die. Anyway.
So great.
Yeah.
So next week,
Excellent stuff.
probably more of the same.
I forget the actor's name who plays Manousos, but I cannot wait to see what he does next after this. He's
Again,
so
the thing
amazing.
with all the Gilligan shows, it's like you can't pretend that, you know, Breaking Bad, you did have a very established actor in the lead there because of Malcolm in the Middle. Everyone knew who he was, but it was, of course, a drastic turn from that. But everyone else are just the right people that he found. Then you get to Better Call Saul. Bob Odenkirk, well known, of course. Yes, but he finds a Ray Seahorn, pulls her out, and it's just, he doesn't go. This show would have been so much worse. And I say the same thing about his previous two shows. If he had just gone with names, found like really like, oh, this will sell the show. And I wonder how much power, obviously back in Breaking Bad, I don't think he had the cachet, even though he was successful from X-Files. I don't think he could sit there going like, I don't want any big names attached. Fuck that. I'm going with these people. But that's what I love about it is, yeah, I've never seen this guy before. I've never seen Zosha before, though I, you know, have seen when I looked at her IMDb, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I didn't know her, but from that, but I remember watching that and, oh, she was in that. Okay. These people aren't nobodies, but again, he is avoiding the thing of familiar faces, which helps you dive into this world. You're like, okay, all right. And then John Cena shows up and ruins the whole fucking thing. But playing himself. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, we love it. Stick with us. We're still watching Pluribus. Post your theories below. Like and subscribe. See, I'm getting good at this podcasting thing. Hit that subscription thing and like us. So guys, whatever you celebrate, again, Hanukkah's already underway. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season. If we don't see you till after, but regardless, best wishes from the Saps. Bye.
Always follow the P.
Oh, yeah, that's
I put
right.
that at the end of the episode. It's at the very end. I copied and pasted you saying always follow the P. That's going to be our new slogan.
It's not going to be touch your destiny. All right, guys. Bye. Okay, we're done. Always follow the P.